Hello Daily Drafters and welcome back to the channel for today's daily draft. We have just 5 drafts of Modern Horizons 3 remaining here in the format. The set was a quick one, but we're going to finish it out with a bang here. So let's dive into today's relatively weak pack one pick one. We have 2 rares, but neither of them are really things you want to be first picking. I think Marionette Apprentice seems like the best thing here. What else do we got? Ironworks, but I don't think that needs to be an early pick. Cranial Ram on the wheel with Marionette Apprentice would be great. Even if we wheeled like Dross Claw, that would be great. Truths for the Eldrazi deck. There is a Waste Escape Battle Mage. That actually could be the correct pick. It's just, I have had very, very little success dipping into Eldrazi in this format. So I'm gonna pack one, pick one, the Apprentice here, in the hopes that we might be able to wheel that Cranial Ram. And now I do see an Etched Slith, which goes very well with Apprentice. Apprentice usually wants to be in a black-white or a black-red kind of Aristocrats style of deck where you sacrifice some things. Etched Slith, I think, is a pretty good piece of that deck. There's also Dross Claw and Mandibular Kite for the wheel here. Voltstorm Angel, interesting. Amulet could be interesting in kind of a red energy deck. I just think Slith goes perfectly with the Apprentice here. So I'll go ahead and take that. And now, man, this has been a pretty bad draft so far. I mean, Nesting Grounds could be pretty interesting if we find ourselves like in black-green and we get some like Evolution Witnesses and Cursed Wombats and things. I don't think I need to take Gravedigg this early. There's a couple of kites, a Witch Enchanter, fine. We don't know that we're white though. Could take Molten Gatekeeper. That could be pretty good in this style of deck as well. I just don't know if that's where we're going to end up. Is that better than a speculative Nesting Grounds? I think I'm going to take the Nesting Grounds. I don't think we wheel this Witness, but if we want a Gatekeeper, I feel like we're going to be able to get one. And now I get past a Conduit Goblin, pick 4, as well as 0 black cards. So black is not really the archetype or the color you want to be fighting over in this set. And there's 0 black or green cards. So that is not a good sign from this direction. So do I speculate with the Conduit Goblin? I could take the Simulacrum, but I just don't think that's good enough to take this early when there's a card as good as Goblin. And if this is open from this direction, I'll happily draft it. But black and green are getting cut, as now there are basically only black and green cards, including a 5th pick territory color. Draft is weird. Draft is certainly weird. Refurbished Familiar goes perfectly with our first 2 picks here. Do I speculate on the territory color, though? I mean, this is one of the better reasons to be in green-based Eldrazi decks. There's a Brood Scale, there's a Fanged Flame, there's some good cards in this pack. This is tough. I've had a ton of success with the black-based artifact decks, and whenever I try to get into Eldrazi, even for late picks like this, I usually don't have a successful deck. So I'm going to stay out of it and just say that pack was just a little bit weird and kind of try to stay out of that there. We could still be in something like blue-black as well. There's lots of landscapes here. I think I'm going to take this landscape, the Grixis landscape. There is the Temur landscape as well, over Tamiyo Meets the Story Circle, which I think is just a little bit slow. We could still be in black-red, but I'm going to take the landscape here. Wow, that's a late invert polarity. If we were even remotely touching either of these colors, I think I'd consider it. I mean, we could be blue-black, splashing invert polarity, but we're 2 picks away from potentially wheeling a Cranial Ram with a Pyretic Rebirth and a Charge Bug in this pack already, and there's no other blue cards. Am I going to miss an invert polarity? Yeah, probably so. I think red-black is going to be open here. If Rebirth is still here, I think we're going to wheel that Cranial Ram. At least that's my guess. I could take Expanding Ooze. There's another Nesting Grounds, but Transmogrant goes well in these artifact kind of decks. Works for Refurbished Familiar as well. This is a tough pick here. I think I'm going to take Transmogrant and really hope I wheel this Cranial Ram, and I did. Alright, so we are in the right archetype here. Draw's Claw even wheeled as well, but we're going to take this Cranial Ram. And yeah, Draw's Claw wheeled as well. So red-black is wide open, and we have found it. Thank goodness. That's our third Nesting Grounds if we wanted it, but I think Draw's Claw goes perfectly with this deck. I think the Enforcer, is that better than Gravedigg? I'll take the Enforcer. Both of those are pretty close and not great on either of them. So, see what we find here in pack 2, and we get a second Apprentice. So that is pretty nice. Would love to wheel, well, not necessarily even love to wheel the Draw's Claw, but I do think we do wheel it. But I will happily take a second Apprentice here, and you know what rare I would love to see? That 3 mana free sacrifice outlet creature. It's like a Warlock or whatever. I can't remember the name of a lot of these rares and things. Ooh, that's a Psychic Frog. How locked into red-black are we? I think we're pretty darn close. With all this artifact stuff, blue-black doesn't exactly want to do that. And Condor goes really, really well in this deck too. We probably wheel this Transmogrant anyway. So yeah, I gotta take the Condor. There might have been an out to get into blue-black this draft, but I still like where we're at. Alright, well that's a pick 3 Writhing Chrysalis, and it's about to be a pick 4 Writhing Chrysalis. You rarely see that. We do very much like a Cursed Marauder, though. So I think I will take that here, and you're welcome. Much less good of a pack here. This is a big nothing. Siege Smash is potentially playable, and Fetid Gargantua is probably slightly less playable than Siege Smash, so I'll just throw this into the sideboard for now. Ooh. Okay. 5 mana, or it's a 5/5 affinity for artifacts. Enters the battlefield, draw X, lose X, where X is the number of artifacts you control rounded down. You can sack an artifact to deal damage to that artifact's mana value to any target. Well, that's kind of exactly what we're trying to do here. So let's try this thing out. This could be interesting. And here's another artifact as well as a cheap or a aggressive creature to help us get the pings we want. So we'll take Molten Gatekeeper. A couple of good cards here, but unfortunately for us, really nothing we can consider playing. I do think blue-black might, based on the way that the packs have been opened here and the cards in the packs, I think blue-black might have been correct, but I'm still not upset with where I'm at. Take Wither and Bloom over Transmogrant. I think we're going to get a Transmogrant pick 10, so I'm fine just passing up on the second one here. Draw's Claw did wheel. I might play 2. I don't know. We'll see. And we did get the Transmogrant. I don't think I'll play 3rd Draw's Claw, so we'll take this one here. And our artifact count is already at 10 with a pack to go. This is a black and potentially splashing blue or white land. I don't think Consuming Corruption is very good. I'll just keep this in here for now. I'll just rare draft. I'm not playing the Superconductor either. This is also unplayable. And a last pick, Ooze. Alright. What do we get In pack 3 for black-red here, we've got another Gatekeeper. That's high on the list. There's also Flare of Malice. You can sacrifice a non-token black creature to have each opponent sack a creature with the greatest mana value among creatures in Planeswalker Days control. We already have 2 Transmogrants, which go pretty well with that. I might take the Flare of Malice here and try to wheel the Molten Gatekeeper or the Charge Bug. Either of these wheeling or the Sheltered Landscape. Any 3 of these wheeling would be pretty good. I don't think this is a Solar Transformer deck. But with double Transmogrant, I think Flare of Malice is actually kind of interesting. Alright, what do we got here? 4 mana 4/4. You don't lose red mana. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, you get to do some cool things. So instants and sorceries, we have 3 so far. I think Wither and Bloom number 2 is just going to be better than that. We haven't seen any discharges. We passed 1 Fanged Flames. I think we got to make sure we have a couple of removal spells here. Maybe we wheel Lethal Throwdown or something. Scurry of Gremlins on the splash could actually be interesting, but I think I'm going to take the Wither and Bloom here. And unfortunately, not a great pack. Oh, never mind. I see Pyro Surfer. I did not see that first. 2 mana 2/2 haste. Landfall against Battle Cry. We're not, like... We have 11 creatures, 2 Dross Claws. I mean, I think the Pyro Surfer is still going to be pretty good here. Better than everything else in this pack, for sure. Alright, interesting one here. Another Etched Slith versus a 3rd Wither and Bloom and a Glasswing Grace. This is an artifact. Having 2 of these probably isn't super great. I think I'm just going to take another Wither and Bloom. That could be wrong, but we'll see. Whoa. What a pack. And I would love all of these cards, but we have to take Toxic Deluge. This card is insane. It single-handedly beat me in the 1 game I played against it here. I would love Marauder, I would love a 4th Wither and Bloom, and I would love a 2nd Gatekeeper, and I would love a Sheltered Landscape, but we have to take Toxic Deluge for sure. Transmogrant or Pyro Surfer number 2. Artifact count is currently still at 10, which is okay. Probably like it a little bit higher, but I think Pyro Surfer is just enough better than Transmogrant to not take it here. And again, why do I have to get these packs? I think I need to take the Refurbished Familiar. But I want all of these cards. Gosh, all that's really good. And then we get this pack. I mean, Eviscerator's Insight's probably good. We're not splashing, and I don't think that the landscapes are super important if you're not splashing. A couple of Obstinate Gargoyles. Black-white could have been an open spot here too. We are on the wheel now. Nope. I didn't even see the Gatekeeper. We'll take the Gatekeeper for sure. Did wheel the Throwdown. We wheeled this Ember Mage, and we could wheel the 2nd Ember Mage. I just don't even think that's good enough, though. Throwdown is a way to sack things as well with, we did wheel the other one with Apprentice on the battlefield, but yeah, I think we'll just... Okay, so nobody's in black, I guess? A second to last pick Wither and Bloom? Alright, well I love where we're at. So let's see if I can build this correctly. Alright, here is where I ended up after deck building. I am going to try out Imscure here with a total of 11 artifacts in the deck. 4 copies of Wither and Bloom. We've got the Toxic Deluge here. Double Apprentice. I cut one of the Pyro Surfers. It's a good card. I just think that it doesn't really, like every single one of our other cards except Marauder and Apprentice, creatures I mean, are artifacts or care about artifacts here. And the Marauder's just a great card in general, and Apprentice really does what we're going for. And this also counts as an artifact for the Servo, I guess, on here. So it's almost like 13 artifacts for Imscure and Enforcer. Cut it to 1 Dross Claw, got the Insight to sack some of the Germ tokens, 4 Wither and Blooms, Cranial Ram, Throwdown to sack some things as well. I'm excited for this one. I've had tons of success with red-black in this in this format, and I think this one is going to be pretty darn good as well. Cross his fingers. See you in game number 1. Okay, so this hand is a little bit slow, but we do have a 1-drop into a 3-drop. Both colors of mana. This does have affinity. So it kind of costs 6 mana right now as opposed to 8, and we have a ton of other artifacts in the deck. We have 2 shots at a 2-drop artifact, or a 2-drop in general, because we are on the draw here. Opponent mulliganed, I think it's fine. What do they have for 1 green mana over there? Don't know, but they're thinking hard about it. Could be the MDFC that gives something indestructible. Like the black-green flip card. That currently, unfortunately, is a 3-drop with the Transmogrant on the battlefield. Would love to draw like Drossclaw or... trying to think of what other 2-drop artifacts we have. We have the Pyro Surfer. We have the Apprentice, the Accursed Marauder, but those aren't artifacts. Alright, bro. Unfortunately did not draw it. So we've got Gatekeeper next, and then Familiar will cost 2 if everything survives. Okay. That's a 2/3. So currently we've got Familiar into Inskier, which would draw us 1 card. Oh. Alright, well let's just do this. Sure. So now we can actually block with Imskier and then get it back with Pyretic Rebirth here. So I can double block here and here on Wumpus Aberration. And then, even if they have some sort of combat trick or something, I can Pyretic Rebirth back the Imskier to do it, to kill it. They got rid of Colossal Dreadmask. Okay. Fetid Gargantua. Sure. Well, I mean, I can sack the Familiar to kill the Gargantua here. It requires me to not play Frogmere Enforcer. I mean, I could play this for its 2/2 version and then also still activate this here. Is that worth not having a 4/4? I don't really want them drawing two extra cards, and I'd like them to activate it and me be able to shoot it down Let's hope they don't have that indestructible trick, and I don't think they do because they didn't get priority on my turn a couple of times there, so. So now this can return familiar and deal 4 damage to something. I guess I could have also sacrificed the familiar, or the enforcer to do that, but probably better to have a 2/1 flyer than a 2/2, but either way I'm probably just getting whatever died back, unless Imskir does die. Then I'll get that back. We've got an opponent who's thinking mighty hard. Or they just got like connection issues, maybe. It's actually pretty decent here. Let's see. Okay, so they've got no priorities, so we can do this and then finish it off with Pyretic Rebirth here. By getting back the familiar. Either way, I think we were in a pretty good spot in this game if they do happen to time out and we win. I feel like this was a win regardless of them disconnecting here. So it does look like our opponent disconnected. But, like I said, I feel like that was a very winnable game, regardless of the DC. On the draw again, opponent has also taken a mulligan in this game. And we'll keep it here. And Marauder's usually good to take down their 2-drop if they've got one, which is right there. However, would I rather Wither and Bloom take that down and get a ping off of the Apprentice? Play this first? Problem is, if they're able to modify this in any way, it becomes out of range of Wither and Bloom. Like if they play something that gives counters. I think I'm going to risk it with the Apprentice here. If they play something that gives it counters, then they're not playing another creature, more than likely, on turn 3. Kinda happened. I mean, they still get another creature, but now the Marauder can take that down here. And then they're left with a 3/3 that if they... I guess this is still going to get out of range because it's going to be a 3/3, and next turn it's become a 4/4 out of range of Wither and Bloom. So, yeah, it didn't really work out necessarily. Although, if I had killed their Watchdog, they would have just played Glyph Elemental and played a land anyway. It would have been a 3/3, so... Oh, they don't have the land. That's perfect. So now... Well, the only issue now is that Evolution Witness is going to get back one of these things. But Pyretic Rebirth can actually kill the Witness, and then the Marauder will kill the Glyph Elemental next turn. That's pretty good. So let's do this. We're going down to 10 to do this, but they did just miss a land drop. If they play another creature, I have the mana to play Marauder on that, plus Wither and Bloom this, or Wither and Bloom the creature and Marauder this. Assuming that they don't have, like, land into a 4-drop, which would be pretty bad. But I'm kind of banking on them not doing that exact line. Okay, so it is Apprentice going down and no land currently. This seems like a better thing to sack to Marauder. So what do they have? They could have the indestructible trick here. But I think I'm fine. Oh no, that was bad. I should have played Enforcer first. If I was going to play it as the 2-2, I should have just played it there. Which I don't know if I was going to, but oh well. Alright, there's the land. And good thing we got that off the battlefield before they had a fetch land there. Alright, unfortunately no land for Battle Cry. I'm going to play this instead of Enforcer here. And now we do have removal. Yeah, I guess they were just getting a little bit screwed on their mana and stuff. They had a nice little start, but we had ways to interact with it. Alright, we're first. And we've got a pretty good hand. We need a couple more lands here, but I think we'll lead with Ram so that on turn 3 we can play Familiar. We did, in fact, find a land here. Malevolent Rumble. Oh my goodness. Well, they only get one of those. I don't think we can kill them before this is going to be a big problem. Yeah, if these Eldrazi decks have a good start and start playing blockers and they stabilize at like 15, it's really, really hard for this black-red deck to get underneath it. They don't have a red currently. Wumpus, this is the second time... Oh no, I was going to say, second time we get to cast something for free. So if I attack with Pyro Surfer and everything, these become 3/3s. Oh, that doesn't have a reach. For some reason I thought that one had a reach. Almost all of them do. Yeah, turn 3 6/6 tramples hard. So I mean, I kind of just have to do this and hold back, unfortunately. And they're at the point where this is pretty much stable, and they're just going to play another 5/5 or with reach now and stuff, and I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Evolution, Witness, so they're going to, yeah, Horrific Assault, I figured. Take 6. A land lets me draw 1 card. Okay, I do take 6. So if I Wither and Bloom and attack, and then use this and attack all, I hit them for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Take 6 again. Next turn I have to pay probably 6 life to get rid of this thing. That means I go down to 2, and I have no board. to somehow get rid of this. Hope they don't draw a mountain. Are they going to miss a land drop here? Alright, I hope they don't have interaction here. Okay, take 2. Got rid of that thing. I have to keep up enough life so that the Toxic Deluge can actually, like, kill the important things here. I guess I have to play Imskir at this point. I only draw 1 card. And it makes the Deluge worse. But Deluge is going to wipe my board pretty much no matter what. Another Wither and Bloom. So they're probably going to trade this for Pyro Surfer here. Again, this Deluge is going to have to deal with some of these bigger threats, more than likely. Why did I think that was 2 and a green? So that was just a punt. For some reason in my mind that was 2 and a green, and they got back a second Titan's Vanguard. That's great. Alright, here we go. That was just a big old punt is what that was. In my mind this was 2 and a green. They couldn't do it. But here we are. There's the Vanguard. Does it have trample? Yeah, of course it does. It cast the other Vanguard. This is a 6/6. They attack with this. That one's a 6/6. I can still cast Wither and Bloom. Not to mention, actually, if I put the counter on it, attack, I mean, they have to have removal or they die. They're just dead next turn. They can't cast this Vanguard, otherwise they're dead on board. I think that's pretty important. So let's do that. Put them dead on board if they don't have removal here. And they do. Perfect. But that means they can't cast the Vanguard. Three artifacts currently. Sure, so now I trade everything here. And then just equip it. And Deluge is going to reset some things, but they've got 5 cards in hand. I've got nothing. I guess if they just cast the Vanguard, I can Wither and Bloom here and still attack. They probably have something better than that, though. I fought back a lot more than I thought I would. Another Wither and Bloom. Sure, I guess. Alright, that puts 2 lethal threats on board. So they have to have 2 creatures, so the Vanguard doesn't work. Oh, yeah, it does. That was nice. That was very nice, because also I can't do Deluge for 2 now. I have to do Deluge for 5. Okay, so everything's dying anyway. So I Deluge for 5 and then still turn back Transmogrant as a 3/3 here. Let's see if they block with Vanguard or not. Okay. So now I can Deluge for just 3. And then on their turn, I bring back the Transmogrant here. Yeah, this unsealing is going to be pretty annoying. Yeah, see? More chump blockers and things. Oof. Perfect. So I trade this for that. Oh wait, no, I could actually... Oh, I forgot it gives +1 as well. So I do this, and then they have to chump here. Or trade with both. Sure, so they're left with... They're left with an 0-1. And I can bring back Transmogrant again. Alright, top deck war. Ugh. Come on. Is that 3 turns in a row for us? I've only got 16 lands in the deck, too. Now we go to 2 and hope that they whiffed. 3 lands in a row and they draw an Annoyed Altasaur and also kill this thing. Unbelievable. Draw 3 cards? What is going on? I hate these kind of beats, man. They're so annoying. Give me a 4th. Pretty close. Sack a modified creature, target... Because if I target this one, then they just re-equip Dreadmask and win. So I have to target this one. We're somehow still surviving here. Not thrilled with our chances still. Had we drawn this a turn before they had drawn their 2/6 drops, we probably would have had it here, but that's not the way it went. Oh, what on earth? 7 mana? Drownyard Lurker. Draw 3. You've got a 6/6. You got a 7/7. Another horrific assault to gain more life. I hate this so much. Hate everything about it. There's the 4th land. On to the next. Alright, we're up first this time. Need some lands. Got a Transmogrant. Worst case, we can sacrifice it to the Insight here. Couple removal spells. A little bit slow of a hand, but these decks are a little bit grindy. If they don't do anything, but they did, so now I don't even have to think about it. There's a black. And Wither and Bloom. Put the counter here or hold up the other one. I think I'm just going to hold up the other one. I don't think I need to put the counter here right now. Okay, Sage. So I could actually Wither and Bloom this down if they choose to block, but I won't, because I'm going to play the Condor, but I'm glad I got that extra point of damage in. Now next turn, even if we miss a land drop, assuming everything survives, which it did, but not in the greatest of ways, can now do these 2 things here. So let's go... I could get this affinity countdown 1 more, but it doesn't matter. We're not going to use the mana here, so rather than play the Apprentice, I'm going to make them discard the card before knowing that I'm playing Apprentice as well. Oh, I had forgot about that. Doesn't change anything, though. Because I can't do both of these. So, sure. I always forget about that last ability. Well, now I could actually attack. I'm very much forecasting Wither and Bloom here, but I mean... I still get to get in. Sure, no blocks. I can block and sacrifice here at some point. Hopefully not another one. That would be annoying. Because for some reason this blue creature has reach. Holding up Horrific Assault here. Yikes. That thing has flying. Gonna Horrific Assault something? Yeah, the Apprentice. There it goes. Alright, and I think they have stabilized. Alright, pass the turn. Again, this is about the worst matchup. When they get to this point of the game and we're here, I can't really get through anymore, and I'm facing down 9 points of attack every single turn, so that's not great. Hello, hello. There we go. Alright, Imskir, we got 3 artifacts. Might be too slow. Because if we play this next turn, we still can't Wither and Bloom as well. We could double block, assuming they don't have any interaction. Could now kill this thing. Or I could just play this. I could kill this by doing Wither and Bloom blocking with Condor, but that's a little bit risky. They've only got 1 card left in hand, though. I think in order to win this game, we have to be a little bit risky. So my plan is to Transmogrant and Wither and Bloom that while blocking with Condor. And if for some reason Condor still does die, we can use its counters over here. I have to take 4 this turn. I'm gonna risk them not having instant speed interaction, which I know is not a great spot to be, but in order to win this game, I think we have to take a couple of risks. Because if I had just played Imskir there, and I go for a double block, they kill both of these, that's not great. They know I have Wither and Bloom, so they can't really attack with that. So, like, I forecasted it so much earlier, so they know I've got it. So we've kind of held them back a little bit here, which is good. This will now cost 4 mana next turn, which means we can still hold up the Wither and Bloom. We'll draw 2 cards, go to 9. They're getting all of the priority from their landscape. Okay, back to my turn. Gatekeeper does let us attack or play Imskir as well, but would not let us hold up Wither and Bloom. So because of that, play Gatekeeper for 3, and then this costs 3, but then we can't hold up Wither and Bloom. But will they attack? I mean, if they attack it and I trade with both of these, is that okay? That's probably fine. I'm still only drawing 2 cards here. I think it's okay. We got some opponents who are just, they love having the priority today. Alright, so we drew Apprentice as well as Deluge. Deluge could, like, wipe our whole board with the Apprentice down. Could be interesting. I'm trying to do some edits in between all of these breaks here. I apologize if I miss any of them. Ooh, Pyretic Rebirth, getting back Apprentice. That doesn't really, like... I mean, that in conjunction with Wither and Bloom does kill Riddle Keeper here. It also gets us Apprentice back, which is going to be pretty good with this board. Conversely, I could, like, throw one of these things at something, but I think I'm gonna... Pyretic Rebirth, the Apprentice. Killing the Riddle Keeper here. And this still has reach, so I still can't really attack. Next turn we have double Apprentice and Wither and Bloom. Double Apprentice, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Still isn't lethal because it's another creature. Well, double Apprentice putting 2/1/1 servos, I think, with Toxic Deluge the next turn would be lethal, killing our whole board. Assuming we have enough life to wipe everything. Which I think we should, based on how this is going. So, Apprentice. Alright, so they have, could just be the landscape priority here, which we know they love to keep. You're about to get priority like 15 times in this turn. Cast the other one. I could kill Petrifying Meddler this turn. Or I could play Reckless Pyroseeker, Reckless Pyrosurfer. I think I'm probably just gonna kill the Meddler. This has haste. Then I could also attack with these two things. So they're at 13, they'll go down to 8. Deluge will be plenty enough next turn, assuming both apprentices do in fact die. Or do in fact stay alive, sorry. We've also got lethal between these 3 Wither and Blooms on the creatures next turn, on the flyers. Gotta be careful with this Aberration having trample, but we've got a 5/5 and a couple other creatures we could block with. In fact, if we block with everything, they have to be careful to not let the apprentices kill them right now. Disciple gaining X life drawing... Gaining 6 life drawing 6 cards. Wow, okay. I still don't think it's enough, but... Sure. Alright, 3 mana left if they tap the Sage. 2 mana if not. Alright, do have the Horrific Assault. They did not control an Eldrazi, so they don't gain 3 life. And that should be lethal right there. There we go. We had, I mean, we could have attacked with apprentices as well, but this was going to ensure that, I mean, we had like 40 points of damage that turn. All right, hopefully the future opponents are slightly quicker in their pace. All right, starting on the draw, which makes Etched Slith much worse, but I don't think this is a hand we can send back here. So we pretty much have to play Slith on 2 and hope that they don't play a 2-drop and a 3-drop, I suppose. That is kind of like a 2-drop. But if you play a 2-mana 1/1 and can't ever attack with it, that's never a great spot to be in. My guess is they're debating between Messenger without a blue source in hand, or Brood Scale being able to cast it next turn, but you never know. Or just getting a land. Okay, they did take the Messenger. That's fine for me, because what that means is... Assuming that's the only creature they play next turn, this Slith could actually attack into it, because it does have a... just 1 toughness here. No plays at all. Okay. I guess... See what you got? It could be Hopeender Coatl? Like the thing that makes me pay 1 here? Do I play around that and play Apprentice instead? That's weird they didn't play that. That tells me they have Hopeender Coatl, which means Molten Gatekeeper's not going to be very good, so I'm going to play around it here. Another Swamp wouldn't be bad. We got lots of black cards in hand, but can only cast 1 per turn. Maybe now they're debating just running it out and not getting any value from it except as a 2/2 flyer. Alright, didn't use their mana. I'm fine with that. No Writhing Chrysalis, please. That's almost just as bad, if not worse, for me. There we go. Guess we attack with everything. I don't think there's anything at instant speed for only colorless mana that they could really have. Swamp off the top is also... oh, wait, do they have Null Elemental Blast or something? I don't even know what that card does, but it's the only thing I could think they could possibly be thinking about here. So Swamp off the top lets us go Apprentice, make the servo, deal 2. They're at 12. Lethal Throwdown, a potential big play from them this turn. They do have 7 mana currently, might have 8. And Eviscerator's Insight to sacrifice something else. All that pings an additional 4. I mean, if they just play like one of those random big 7 mana cards, like, it's not the end of the world. Although, this thing does gain 4 life every time they do that, so... not as good. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, they return the Slith here more than likely because it resets it. Yeah, it's a 3/5. I can kill it, but... think, gosh, this lack of black mana is really getting me here. So do I just play the Slith? If I play Lethal Throwdown right now and sacrifice like the Transmogrant, for example, I can attack with these 2. And if I wait, then they're probably going to play another creature I can't attack through even after using Lethal Throwdown. So I think I'm going to try to burn them out through Gatekeeper and Apprentice triggers. But that's still not a great plan because Path of Annihilation gains them 4 life every time, so... these apprentices can do some serious work. It's just, with life gain on the battlefield, makes them a lot worse. Spawns for days. There he is. How are they able to cast that? Oh, because this allows it to tap for one of any color. I see, I see. Alright, apprentice. Oh, that's so bad. Let's first do this, I guess. Maybe if we draw a swamp, we can do a couple other things here. Does that do it? This deals 8 to them, so no, it doesn't. Next turn it should, though. No, it does, because whenever another creature artifact is put, yeah, so that should do it, because it'll count the other one. So this one counts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this one counts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which deals 10. So I do this for, in order to kill the Chrysalis. But, yeah, I just do it for 5. The Chrysalis is going to stay alive here because of all of this, but these should... This should be lethal. Okay, hopefully I didn't do this wrong, but I think this is a lethal... a lethal spell on the stack. Should deal 10 damage to them if my math is correct. Oh no. Is this creature or mana value? They had it earlier and I played around it and I forgot about it. Oh no. I totally forgot about it. Alright, well. Good for them, I suppose. Wow. Oh, man. I did call it earlier, and, it worked. Now, if this gets out of range, then... Like, if they cast a 7-drop, they're at 13 next turn. I'm probably out of range. Ugh. This is so brutal. This is so brutal. I knew about it and I just let it go. And now they're gonna go to 13 and I'll be out of range here. Dang. Hope Ender Coatl with 5 lands on the battlefield. The losses in these formats, man, are just like, just so demoralizing. So this is 5, 6, 7, 12 plus 4 is 16, so I have to block here, unfortunately. I don't think I survived this. Can put him to 4. So if I unearth this, attack with all these, they block, block, block. Take 2, because this will have Battle Cry, but they'll just take 2 and then I'm dead on the backswing, so that doesn't really work. So conversely, I have to block, block, and block, take 2. Currently not dead on the backswing, and actually I might win next turn, but if they can gain life, then I won't. Oh, do they have another way to deal with the Apprentice here? I'm sure they've got something that'll end this one now. They have enough mana. Sure, getting back utter insignificance more than likely. Yeah, which gets rid of Apprentice, which means I can't ping them anymore. Yeah. It's a good card. And then none of this does anything that I want to, because I'm not getting any pings. I don't think I have direct damage in this deck. I guess direct damage is Molten Gatekeeper, but that's not gonna save me here. That certainly won't. Just barely. Exile that, block, 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 die on board here, so I guess I can just let them do it, but am dead on board currently. Just make them think that I have literally anything here. All right. stupid. Stupid card. Alright, we're at first with a pretty darn slow hand, but Wither and Bloom can kill something. And now we got 2. Play the Gatekeeper here now. Swamp would be outstanding to play Condor, but we'll see. Nope, can't be lucky in that regard. So, do I play a 2/2 or Apprentice? I think I'll... Whatever I play is probably getting countered by Ether Spike here, so... I'd rather get the Enforcer countered. I guess there's a chance they don't have it. Nah, they did. Alright. Well, why are they getting priority then? But not when I, any other time. They just choose not to counter the Apprentice with Ether Spike? Because they only got priority when I cast the spell. Interesting. I don't know what they've got now. It could be Hopeender Coatl to eat one of these 2 things. So I don't... And I played around it here, so I don't really want to run into that here. So I'm just going to, like, do this, I guess? I don't know what flash creatures there are. Okay, draw 2, discard a card at random. So they'll draw 2. Oh, they did discard a card at random. Voltstorm Angel. Well, they were not really particularly close to casting that. So I guess I could have attacked with 2, but it would have been pretty bad if they had the Coatl and ate the Apprentice here. This is one of the keys to our deck. Battle Wagon. Does this kill a creature or planeswalker? Miss another land drop, unfortunately. Got him pretty low. Let's see if they can come back. 6 is not 0, but we do have a lethal throwdown to kill something, which does drain with the Apprentice, assuming that survives, but this is usually a target, a target magnet for removal. Six energy. Really needed the energy here. They don't have double white for the Wrath. So what do they need 6 energy for? To copy that twice. I see. Okay. Yeah, pretty good. Gave us one extra ping in the order that they did it, but alright, pretty much just kind of have to play this and hope they don't have Coatl or something else now. Got all the removal in hands, but if these 2 creatures don't make it, it won't matter. That should be fine. There we go. Alright, managed to get through that one. Alright, we're at first with an unkeepable hand here that we gotta send on back and get a basically equally as bad hand at 5, or at 6. And I don't go to 5, so what are we sending back? Well, we need a black regardless, so... No, I guess it can be insight here. I don't really know. I mean, I don't go to 5, so it looks like we might just go 4 and 3 here. 5 is just so ridiculously low of a win percentage, it's hardly even worth it, almost ever. And we got kind of like 3 shots to draw black before it starts to get out of hand here. But sometimes magic just magic. And you can't do anything about it. I guess the thing I could have done about it is go to 5 and then get the same hand and then just have 1 fewer card in my hand that I'm waiting to cast. There we go. Never didn't have it. Yeah, I guess most mana efficient thing to do is do this. Would still like another swamp. All 4 colors, and there's the Chrysalis, so I think we're about done here. Alright, go to 11. Here comes another one. Nope, they're just all over the place with this deck, but it is working out for them. What is this? Faithful Watchdog in the same deck as Gatekeeper and Grim Servant. Yeah. Sure, that's a card I can't cast. +1/+1 counter. Reach and Death Touch. It's a shame. This is the kind of deck that is probably going to go 1 and 3 or 2 and 3, but we're going to be one of those wins because we drew the way that we did. Why does that have Menace? That's wildly annoying. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, it's not lethal. Another 3/3. And another single spell. Alright, so a couple of bad beats there, including a Mana Screw in the last game, which didn't really produce a game at all. But you know what? We went 4 and 3. These decks are sweet. These are like, I think these are my favorite decks in the format, these black-red decks. I've had a lot of success with them. This one probably should have been better than 4-3 had we not gotten screwed out of a couple of games there. But yeah, it was a sweet one. Double Apprentice. Iron Eater was pretty good. Another Cranial Ram might have been alright. There was a couple of filler cards in here, but I will take it. 4-3. Had a fun time. Hope you did too. Thanks for tuning in today, and I'll see you next time for your daily draft.